What is up, dudes? It is your excellent friend, the Brand, here from Fan Warrior Nation. Thank you very much for joining me. It is 11/13/2018. Going to be taking a look at the very small three-game slate on Draftkings and FanDuel today, and we're going to do some lineup building. So make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that wonderful stuff. Get intact there. Also, head on over to fanwarriornation.com. Get yourself a free 30-day access with my promo code NBA-FREE. You ain't got nothing to lose. You'll have access to my top matchup article, which comes out each day. We got NHL, we got football, we got everything that you want over there. And so I highly suggest checking that out. Once again, you have nothing to lose. Let's get into it, though. Let's go ahead and build some lineups here. There's a lot of stuff. There's a few different ways you can attack this here. We're very limited on the guys that are on the top end. And that's something I think is kind of worth mentioning, especially like from a tournament perspective. These guys are definitely going to be very, very popular. People are just going to be fitting in these guys on this slate, whether it makes sense or not. They just, you see Harden, you see Durant, and you just kind of think the first instinct is to try to kind of play team jam them in with them. I'm interested in those guys, but I'm interested in, more or less, I think a better option for attacking these games would be some stacks. My son is trying to put on my shoes and walk around the house, and he's very, very frustrated that he cannot perform the task at hand. Anyway, so that's what that is. If you hear that in the background there, which I'm sure you do, I apologize. Anyway, I think some stacks are like, if you want access to Harden, if you want access to Durant, this might be a more contrarian way to attack it. Chris Paul doesn't necessarily have the best of spots in the world going up against Jamal Murray. It is on the road in Denver, the elevation and all that. But you're kind of looking at this Houston team, kind of hoping that they're starting to come back around now that they got Carmelo Anthony out of there. He's not making the trip. So to me, this becomes, pretty much an 8-man rotation. Right, you got Paul, you got Harden. They'll start Ennis at the 3, but he shouldn't really be there for long. He's kind of one of those decoy starter type guys. Tucker, I think, is going to play kind of like Millsap, kind of on the other side of that a little bit. Capella, of course, going to get most of the time at the 5. He's really all that they have down there. Just from a points per dollar and safety aspect, it's definitely always in play to play a guy like that. When you see his average is pretty much going to hit right in line with what his salary would be at like 5.5, 6x. So that's something that we're usually looking for, right? But outside of those 5 guys, we're going to see 2 guys come off the bench. Most significantly, Eric Gordon and the situation. Gosh, if we just look at this, last 4 games here played over 30 minutes in each of those. Doesn't really matter kind of the situation. Another thing that really impresses me as far as he goes is the shots. It's kind of boom or bust, right? Because, kind of obviously he shot like horrible here this home game against Indy, but so that can happen. But man, a guy that gets at least 14 shots in every game I mean, he's just, like if you're playing DFS by the book, like he's the guy. And then you have, actually, this more or less is like a 7-man rotation, right? You have the 5 starters, you have Gordon, and then you're going to have Gary Clark, who's been checked in for 33 minutes this last game. He's been kind of the other guy that's going to be filling in all around there as well. They don't have much else. There's not really a whole lot there. So, I don't know. If we think this is going to be a close game and, Paul's price is down even further, once he gets down in that range, I really like playing him. It just kind of seems like it's the kind of the way to go. We could literally, I don't know about Tucker, right? But we could probably go. See, we've already got Gordon in there. Like Capel, which Capel's going to go against Jokic for the most part. I just have a feeling Harden is going to get Jokic in some foul trouble, and so we're going to see more of Miles Plumlee and that sort of thing. Which of course, Capella would definitely win that matchup in that instance. So boom, if you go to stack the Rockets, you've got all this upside and value and safety here, pretty much everything that you want, and we're open for 5,200 left over at each spot, which on this slate is not it's not hard to fill that up, and you don't have to go too gross on this slate with that, because you can there's guys like, the Cleveland guys, the Atlanta guys that are really cheap. If we're just talking in just straight value on this slate, there's couple guys that we're really liking in here in Atlanta, right? Alex Lynn, there's no one else that's going to be able to play that position for them, right? And if Golden State can get attacked anywhere, you'd think it would be at the 5 position, at least when, Draymond's not in there. He definitely a winnable matchup and just should fall into value naturally, just because he's the only guy they got. There's no Deadman. They're not going to let Miles out there for too long of a time. Just not going to happen. Amari Spellman, he's another guy. They don't have anybody there, and he's really the only guy that's got any kind of chance matching up on a guy like Draymond. And we might not expect a huge turnout from him, but we are at least going to see something decent, a nice safe floor, and that gives us opportunity to pay up at other positions. So yeah, I mean there's definitely some value on this slate to be had. Another way you can attack it, of course, Golden State. A lot of people liked Quinn Cook last night, and it was disappointing because they let Iguodala run the show. But I'm telling you what, if you play Quinn tonight, which they're talking about resting Iggy all together, so he's very, very interesting to me. If you put those guys in there with Durant, with Draymond, not necessarily worry about their center position, just because these guys are such a hodgepodge of stuff going on. Doesn't leave you a whole lot of room, but there is some value, at the deeper part of the slate. So, another way I'm thinking about attacking this slate. If we hop on over to FanDuel, It might make it a little bit more difficult for us to play this here. Of course, Capella's, everyone's price, inflated, due to situation here on FanDuel. Um, Gosh, it's pretty straight across the board, anywhere from like about $400 to $600 more than usual. Um, so anyway, it might be a little bit harder to go with these game stacks over here on. So I definitely think if we go FanDuel, you maybe want to. This is the site where you want to exploit um, the injuries and the guys who are just going to be there all the time, like no matter what, right? So like without Hill, like they're going to need Sexton to go over 30 minutes. Should just fall into some opportunity, like regardless of any of that, right? Let's go SG. Clarkson. He should see most of the time around there. Hood. Man, you can play all these dudes. Nance. Right? You just stack those Cavs up. And even like if you wanted to throw your center spot to Tristan Thompson, I don't think that there's any like, I talked about Capella. Lynn, you can save like a little bit of money on this format, but it's only $1,100. So Thompson has nice upside in this situation as well, as far as I'm concerned. And then you're left with some cash. Whoever you like. If I know a lot of people are going to want to jam in the stars. Harden, Clay, Durant. This leaves you some money to do that and not get too gross at the same time. I don't know. I don't know if you want to go there exactly, but yeah, no, there's the Cavs. Another way I like attacking this thing on FanDuel. If we're gonna get jiggy with it, we can also go. We could look at that as the Hawks side, same kind of situation. We know Alex Lynn is going to be. I gotta get Thompson out of there. That's right. Okay. So got Alex Lynn there. Spellman, which we really like, only 4,400 on FanDuel. That's crazy. I would think he would be at least a little bit more expensive on this site, but from there it gets kind of murky. They seem to trust Bembry quite a bit, and then again, I don't know. I just really don't like this Atlanta backcourt being able to do much of anything. So we could combine it, maybe combine it with the guys we do like here. That's the thing. Like, Trae Young should be right around the same price as Colin Sexton as far as I'm concerned. That's why I have trouble doing this with Atlanta. Just because from a points per minute perspective, it's like, I don't know, it just kind of doesn't seem. He should be closer, not around his price, but I mean, I at least think, Young's price is just inflated because of that ceiling that he can't hit, obviously. But anyway, that's what I think. Go ahead and give it some run, give it some thought. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to this channel here, Fan Warrior Nation. Also, head on over to the mothership, fanwarriornation.com. Get yourself a free 30-day membership with my promo code NBA Free. Until next time, this has been your excellent friend, the brand, saying good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next video.